everyone watching. This is episode 12 of my retro rewatch series, and today we're talking about the 1989 classic Batman. And if you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button and click on that bell so you can notify future videos. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And yes, in prep for the Batman starring Robert Pattenson, which is coming out this weekend, I figured I'd go back and revisit the 1989 classic Batman starring Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. And you know what? After going back and doing my rewatch, I have to say I still love this movie for the most part. I mean, you could definitely tell it's a product of the 80s because there's no cell phones, there's no computers and what have you. And like some of the effects were kind of dated for the most part. Like when Jack Nicholson goes to shake the one guy's hand in that one meeting in the gangsters and stuff like that, and he fries him with some kind of electrical device that he had in his glove, and like the way the flames were shooting out the guy's collar, it kind of looked low budget, at least in today's standards goes, as far as effects are, you know. But other than that, I love this movie. I thought it was pretty funny. Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton are just totally awesome in this movie. But I gotta say, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, I like the Heath Ledger version of Joker the best out of all the ones I've seen on the big screen so far, to be quite honest with you. I haven't seen the one with Joaquin Phoenix yet, so I can't really say anything about that. All I've seen on was the trailer. It looked kind of good, but I haven't had a chance to actually see that movie yet, so I can't really say. I definitely don't like the Jared Leto's version Joker at all. I mean, even in the Snyder cut, I didn't like that either. I like the Jack Nicholson version. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like a more modern version of the Cesar Romero type Joker, at least as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? But Heath Ledger's version that he had, Chris Nolan trilogy, was awesome. I love that version the most. You know, I mean, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. I mean, again, this movie was a lot of fun. It was cool to go back and rewatch it. And like, it was like, you know, it's hard to believe that Mr. Mom was Batman, right? And I remember all the big, huge uproar about him playing Batman. It's almost like the same thing with everybody giving Robert Pattinson's crap for like taking on the role for Batman. You know, Twilight boy. I mean, I didn't like the Twilight movies, to be quite honest with you. And the only other movie I've seen Robert Pattinson in was the Harry Potter movie, and he was barely in that. And he was just like not really a main character, but he was like one of the focus of the movie that he was in. That's all I really got to judge on. I didn't go and watch all the other independent movies he's in, to be quite honest with you. I'm going in this with an open mind when I go see the Batman this weekend. Batman is a 1989 American superhero film based on the DC's comic character of the same name, produced by Jon Peters and Peter Guber. It is the first installment of the Warner Brothers Batman film series, directed by Tim Burton. Now, the story for the film takes place earlier in Batman's war on crime and depicts his conflict with the Joker.
Excuse me. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
After Burton was hired as director in 1986, Steve Englehart and Julie Hickson wrote the film's treatments before Sam Hamm wrote the first screenplay. Batman was not greenlit until after the success of Burton's Beetlejuice film in 1988. The tones and themes of the film are partially influenced by Alan Moore and Brian Boland's The Killing Joke and Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. The film primarily adapts and diverges from the Red Hood origin story for the Joker, having Batman inadvertently cause gangster Jack Napier to fall into the excess chemical acid, triggering his transformation into the psychopath Joker. Numerous A-list actors were considered for the role of Batman before Keaton was cast. Keaton's casting was controversial since by 1988 he had become typecast as a comedic actor, and many observers doubt that he could portray a serious role. Nicholson accepted the role of the Joker under strict conditions that he get dedicated top billing portion of the film's earnings, including associated merchandise and his own shooting schedule. Filming took place at Pinewood Studios from October of 1988 to January of 1989. The budget escalated from $30 to $48 million. While the 1988 Writers Guild of America strike forced Hamm to drop out, Warren Scarron did rewrites, with additional uncredited drafts done by Charles McKeown and John Jems. Batman was critically and financially successful, earning over $400 million in the box office totals. It was the fifth highest grossing film in history of the time of its release. The film received several Saturn Award nominations, a Golden Globe nomination for Nicholson's performance, and won the Academy Award for the Best Art Direction. It also inspired the equally successful Batman the Animated Series, paving the way for the DC animated universe, and has influenced Hollywood's modern marketing and development techniques of the superhero film genre. The film was followed by three sequels. Batman Returns in 1992 with Burton and Keaton returning, Batman Forever in 1995 with Val Kilmer as Batman, and Batman and Robin in 1997 with George Clooney in the title role. Starring in this movie, we had Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger, Robert Wuhl, Pat Hingle, Billy D. Williams, Michael Goff, and Jack Palance, just to name a few. Now, currently, Batman 89 is sitting with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 72%, with 76 top critics chiming in with their reviews. Now, the last one to actually give his review was in August of 2021. He was calling it the movie event of the summer, so which is technically true for when it first came out back in 1989. And I guess, he did watch it last summer, so it technically does count as a movie summer event, at least for him, right? Now, over on the audience side, we're sitting with a score of 84% out of 250,000 plus reviews from the fans. Now, the last guy to do his review, other than my video right now, was about 4 or 5 hours ago of my recording right now. And he kind of didn't like this movie. He only gave it 2.5 stars out of 5. I don't give number ratings for movies because what my number rating would mean a lot different than most people's and what have you. So I don't do that. As far as that goes. Now, he said that this movie was campier and campier every time he sees it. I guess I can kind of see that, but it's nowhere near as like it was for the Batman and Robin movie with George Clooney. That movie was bad. This movie was nothing like that. Now, you could definitely tell it was a Tim Burton movie, because this is right after his success with the Beetlejuice, and also had Michael Keaton in it. So you could definitely tell this is a Tim Burton movie. I mean, if you didn't know it was a Tim Burton movie, if you know what Tim Burton movies felt like, you watch this, you can definitely tell it felt like a Tim Burton movie. The Batman Returns was more of a Tim Burton movie than this one, but however, you can definitely tell. You know what I'm saying? At least as far as I'm concerned. Now, I like all the other Batman movies except for Batman and Robin. That one wasn't good, but I liked the Val Kilmer Batman movie. I thought that was actually pretty damn good. I thought he was a pretty good Batman, but they were just, I don't know. That's when Joel Schumacher took over and the film franchise just went downhill like after that. You know what I mean? And I also like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. I thought they were pretty damn good. I also like Ben Affleck as Batman. I was hoping he would actually get his own solo film so we can actually get more on his take of the character, because he was kind of like washed out with like Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Cyborg. It's kind of like you didn't really get, you could kind of get a feel for the character, but not really that well as far as like if it was his own solo film. He was supposed to get one, and then stuff went down, and here we are. Robert Pattinson is coming to play the Batman this weekend at the movies. I'm looking forward to actually seeing this. The only thing I'm not really looking forward to seeing this movie coming out this weekend is the runtime. 3 hours. And so far, I've heard a couple people give quick reviews of that movie, and they're saying it could have been shorter. So that there alone's got got me going, oh man, because it's 3 hours, you know what I mean? And there's most likely a credit scene, and you got to save for that, right? Now, if I had to rank the Batman movies, the solo movies, mind you, I'm going to have to go with the Christopher Nolan trilogy, like from the first one to the third one. I mean, I see people like mix and match and which ones they like better over the other ones in that trilogy. I kind of like to start from the first one, go to the third one, because to me, it's like one continuous story. So you kind of need to watch it in order to kind of get the story. That's just my opinion. Let me know about that in the comments down below. Now we followed by the Batman 89 in the fourth spot, because I like that movie. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, it's a product of its time, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. It's a product of its time, because that's like the thing that's appealing to me. You know what I mean? It makes me remember what things were like back then. That's just me. And then coming in number 5, we've got Batman Forever, because I like the Val Kilmer Batman. I thought he was pretty good as Batman. I thought he was actually pretty damn good as Bruce Wayne also. And I was hoping he would actually do the next film. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I don't remember exactly why that was. And then we have Batman Returns. Now, even though this is Michael Keaton coming back as Batman, and I loved him as Batman, but I didn't like this second Tim Burton movie as much as I did the first one. And that's why we got a Val Kilmer Batman in the following movie, right? If this Batman movie would have done really well, just as the first one did, we wouldn't be talking about a Val Kilmer Batman. You know what I'm saying? And that follows up with the George Clooney Batman and Robin. Now, that movie was just terrible. I mean, I have not watched that movie in years, and I don't plan to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just downright terrible. Now, that's not really George Clooney's fault. That was pretty much, Joe Schumacher, which he blames the studio. So who knows exactly what the real story is and why that movie was so just terrible. So I don't know. I like watching Batman 89. I can watch it over and over again. Is it a product of its time? I think so. I mean, but you can't help that. I mean, it was made back in 1989, and the effects are a lot better today, so it's kind of goes without saying. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a bad one. Out of all the other Batman films out there, I don't think it's one of the bad ones, to be quite honest with you, but that's just my opinion. Now, another reason why I did a rewatch of Batman 89 is because Michael Keaton is coming back to play Batman. Not once, but twice, mind you. Twice he's coming back to reprise his role as Batman and Bruce Wayne. Now, the first time we're going to get to see that is in the Flash movie, which is set to drop on November 3rd of 2022. And the second time is going to be the Batgirl movie. Now, right now, they're not really saying when that's going to be released. Where I look, it says sometime in 2022. So we're already in, March of 2022? So sometime this year. Maybe we'll get an announcement here fairly soon, but we do know he's going to be in the Flash movie. So that's pretty damn cool. I have to say, I can't wait to see and how he comes back to reprise his role. I mean, he was the focus of the trailer for the Flash movie, so I'm kind of really wondering what exactly are we going to get when that movie drops? You know what I mean? So if you watched Batman 1989, let me know in the comments down below. Where does this one rank with you with all the other Batman movies? Let me know in the comments down below. And how much are you looking forward to the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson coming out this weekend? Let me know in the comments down below. I mean, I'm hoping it's good. You know what I'm saying? But we'll have to wait and see. So let me know what you think in the comments down below.